It's our time with head coach Randy Wittman, and I think about the journey that's gotten you to this point, and I think about obviously taking over in January of 2012. This has been quite an emotional journey, I would imagine. I still think about that Atlanta game a couple seasons ago where it looked like we had won in overtime and they said it went in too late. There was a lot you went through with this team, and to be able to continue with this team, that's got to be something special.
It is special. Anytime you go through tough times, you want to try to be around when the tide turns. And to be here now in the 2.5 years to see where we were, you're trying to do things in a positive way, and through injuries and stuff that just didn't allow it, to have the belief and try to teach the belief to your players, to see it come to fruition is special.
Yeah, and I know I'm bringing up history now, but that's what you had said back in January 2012 to Ted and Ernie, at least what Ted Leonsis articulated, that you knew you would be having an impact with this team when they would buy in to discipline and defense, and that clearly did happen, but that doesn't always happen.
No, it doesn't, but you could see even in that when we were 4-28 at the time, our statistics from a point differential to our defensive statistics, without Nene, without John Wall, two of your star players, you could see the foundation that I kept telling them, believe, because when we get healthy, when we get this going, we're going to see. And as that season wore on, and we got John and Nene back, we saw, what the team was capable of, and be a pretty decent team if we just continue to believe and institute what we're trying to do here.
And now we're talking about building on a playoff season, and I know you enjoy life when you're coaching. I watch you at practice or it's game, whatever it is. But did you have a chance to stop now as you look back and enjoy what just happened? This DC rise and this journey this team went on, because typically it's we get on the plane as long as you have your Pringles potato chips and then you're thinking about the next game, and but did you have a chance to say, Indiana's where I'm from, we played a playoff series against the Pacers, my family got involved, things like that? Did you have
Yeah, you do. It's kind of depressing though, because when it ends so harshly, and you're always game planning and getting ready to continue on, and all of a sudden it's not there. That's the hard part. But yeah, now that you get away from it, there's a lot of positives that you look back on that you're proud of. And I want our players to be proud of. But now as we're moving on, as we get farther away from the end of the season, now we got to start focusing on what we're going to do to take that next step. And both as our players, what they have to concentrate on as individuals, but then what we have to do as an organization to keep this team improving. Indiana's
where you're from. There had to be a neat factor to that, because you're as family members, that whether it's your wife, your kids that have been the daughter, son, wife of a coach, they've sacrificed a lot, and now they get to enjoy.
Yeah, it was special. For my mom and dad and brothers and sisters who've followed me and been so supportive of me when I was a player, to now being a coach, and to be able to go back there to have a playoff series in the second round in your home, where I could see the happiness in my family's eyes each time we walked into the arena there. And you look back, it's kind of special.
You had said you couldn't wait to coach this team in the playoffs because it would be a new experience for this team. I imagine you can't wait to coach them to the next level, because now it's a different dynamic. This is no longer a story about, well, what can the Wizards do? You can do something.
Yeah, I think so. And the thing I think you always get a feel as a coach, sometimes when, a lot of people said maybe we overachieved a little bit. I don't believe that. I think what we did as the season wore on, and the way we finished, and getting into the playoffs. But sometimes when it ends, as it did against Indiana, you see happiness from your team of what you accomplished. When we got beat in that 6th game, I saw disappointment in our players' faces, and that was a positive to me, that they were disappointed that it ended where it ended. And I want them to believe that we could, could have still been playing. We're not happy that we beat the Bulls and got to the second round, went 6 games with Indiana, who was the #1 seed and had an opportunity to win. I like that they're looking at it, that they're disappointed that it didn't continue on.
You know, that people, we use this term culture change. You have players that are verbalizing what went wrong. They're not saying, I don't know what's going on. Accountable is a big part of what this.
Well, I mean, that's how you grow up, understanding what you yourself, not only as an individual, are accountable for, but as a team, and where we can get better, what we can do. You know, that's just how I was raised from my mom and dad, as well as then in the basketball, playing for a guy like Bobby Knight. That's been strong. I've had, you know, we've put together some really good people here, players that not only trust me, but I trust them. And when you have that avenue of accountability back and forth, then you can do a lot of special things.
And that's really the bottom line, because we talk about buying in, but they're not going to buy in unless they believe, and they clearly believe. And that gives you a chance now to, it's a cliche, the next level. But in your eyes, what takes this team in the next step? Or what are you most excited about?
You know, we got some decisions that have to be made here in the off season. Obviously, free agency and you know what we're going to be able to do and accomplish there. But we've got to you know make sure that we understand the mixture of what we did here with our young guys and the veterans that we put around them, that we understand how important the culture of the locker room was, not only what the guys can do out on the floor, but you know what how they mix and intertwine, and it was as good as it's been since I've been here. And I think that's another reason why we had some success this year. So we've got to understand that as an organization and try to keep that to where we have it right now, and then adding pieces around it. You know, you got to continue to try. It's a talent-driven league. You got to have good players to have success in the NBA, and you know we got to continue to look to try to continue to add talent.